So normally there's like a 7-second delay, I guess, in things. But Monday Night Football last night, I heard a lot of you motherfucker. I heard a lot of that going on. But to the quietness of the stadium there, your hard count is very, very impressive. And it seems like a lot of guys have been taking advantage of that. Was that something you knew, obviously? Because you told us last week, you're like, you don't think you're going to have to go to a silent count, so you knew you were going to be able to get the cadence off. But that hard count is something that's been a weapon for offenses. And I would assume you assume that's going to stay the same throughout the rest of the season?
Well, I think it's definitely helping the road teams for sure, not having to deal with the crowd noise and do silent count. Now, I think I said it, this week, last week in the production meeting. It looked like Houston was using silent count in Kansas City. Kansas City had 18,000 fans or whatever. So I know there's going to be some places that are allowing fans, so we might have to use silent count at some point. But using the live cadence is definitely a weapon. It's been a weapon for so many years at home for us. We've drawn a lot of people off sides, and we've made, definitely thrown a lot of touchdowns and big plays doing that. They blew since we had a game 15 against Seattle, and there was a little bit of complaining after the game about the fact that the snap wasn't synced up with the line movement when there was an offsides. So they've really made an emphasis on blowing a lot of those plays dead. Now, if it looks like there's going to be an unabated to the quarterback, or if it looks like the offensive line moved before the center snapped it, so you don't get as many maybe opportunities as you used to. But we had a good one in the third quarter where they jumped, they didn't blow it, we snapped it and hit Marquez for about 35 yards to get us down inside the 5 and set up another score. So it's a weapon. We're going to keep using it.
Aaron, I drew a couple people off sides for field goals. You got to go from diaphragm, bub.
I saw that tweet you had. What did you do though? Did you snap the ball and run around and throw it up?
No. They would blow it dead every time for field goals. But I agree. If me and Jack Doyle, who was the wing, would have been on the same page a little bit more, maybe he runs a route there, I scramble around, I pull an Aaron Rodgers impression, throw a dart at the age of 75 somehow, harder than I've ever thrown the ball right to Jack Doyle. Maybe I'm a superstar. Maybe I'm still playing. Maybe that's what's going on.
Wouldn't you just for the aesthetics wanted to throw to maybe an offensive lineman or defensive line, give him a chance? There's one chance. You drive guy off sides.
Oh, yeah.
And you got, the biggest guy out there.
Anthony Costanzo running out there.
Yeah,
big pies.
Costanzo scored a touchdown, though. He had a nice celebration. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah, he did I forget what it was. He had been planning that for years, by the way. The second year in the offense here with LaFleur, I assume a lot of people are making a story out of this, but you did look much more comfortable, and it looked like the entire offense. Is this just natural progression, you think?
Yeah, I think it's natural progression. I think it's the fact that we had no crowd noise in Minnesota, I think, didn't hurt either, because that's a tough place to play. We opened up the stadium a few years ago, the first game there, and it was electric. Last year we were playing for the division in week 16. A little different when you can hear everything that's being said on the field compared to when you can't hear anything from a guy, a few feet from you. So that definitely gave us, I think, a little bit of advantage over some years past. But I thought Matt had a really nice plan. I thought he got into a flow with the calls. And when we got into a rhythm, we just kind of kept rolling. We did some good things on third down. We were 6 for 11 on third down, which is important. We were terrible in the red zone in the first, quarter and a half. And then, we figured a couple things out and scored on, 5 possessions in a row or something like that.
No, that's pretty good. What about, I saw you celebrating a lot. You'd go over and hug the receivers after big drives. You and LaFleur obviously seem to have a good connection, which seems you guys get physical with each other. You seem to like to punch. You're like an aggressive meathead. You get a big play and you guys start yelling at each other and you give him a few jabs. Has it always been like that from day one with him?
You're such an idiot.
Dumbest.
Remember Kevin Green? You play with Kevin Green. KG loved to get physical when you celebrate. I see the same thing with you two.
Look, I've watched your celebrations over the years. I haven't, been caught flipping anybody off from the field. But not saying I haven't done that before. I just avoided the cameras.
Bingo.
Smart.
Which is asinine to think that you could flick someone off and avoid the cameras. We all know you can afford the $15,000-$20,000 fine you'd get.
But the kids, AJ. Worry about the kids, AJ. Jeez, why don't you be an adult?